Hello and welcome. I'm Brett Perry.
And I'm Teresa Strasser. Veterans Day, it started as a way to commemorate the end of World War I, but we now celebrate all branches of the military during war or peacetime on November 11th.
Veterans Day may only come once a year, but it's important to honor our veterans every day.
And it's our privilege to share amazing stories of bravery and courage from veterans here in our local community, as well as those from our sister stations all around the country.
Now, did you know that there is a proper way to retire American flag?
Our own Lexi Lambert shows us how honoring America's veterans is offering ways to do just that.
Although it's hard to know exactly how many, it's estimated that hundreds of thousands of American flags are flying in Arizona on any given day. But what happens when they are too worn to fly, and how do you retire Old Glory with dignity? That's where Honoring America's Veterans filled a need and created the Tattered Flag Project.
The reason that we're doing this as a veterans nonprofit is our men and women have served under the flag. We know the importance of rendering it, respecting it.
The U.S. flag is considered a living thing that we fought for, we died for, and we want to do dignified. We treat it almost like we're having a funeral. And in the last 5 years, there's fewer and fewer places that will accept the flags, and even more that do not have the facilities to burn them properly and safely.
Just as pristine flags are revered and honored, the ones that are torn are given the same respect and care through the entire retiring ceremony.
The proper way to fold a flag that you're going to retire is to not have any red showing. You can fold it in the classic 13 fold or just in a square. So a typical ceremony starts with the Pledge of Allegiance. There are scripts that you can get online that describe the meaning of all the colors and all the designs on the U.S. flag. And that's kind of the memorial service for those flags that you're going to burn and then you're going to bury. They go to Dignity Memorial Services that has generously been allowing a place to bury them or store them at an actual cemetery or a burial area.
Honoring America's Veterans is hosting a flag incineration ceremony the public can participate in by dropping off their tattered flags at various locations. They plan on doing this event every year around 9/11 as a way to honor the day.
Honoring America's Veterans plans to continue the Tattered Flag Project in 2026. More information will be available on honoringamericasveterans.org.
Now, Veterans Day is a time to show patriotism and hang American flags with pride. American Flag and Pole, right here in Arizona, makes and repairs flags for display. Take a look.
American Flag and Pole Company manufactures and erects large commercial flags and flagpoles. Mostly United States flags. We do state flags. We do about 9 or 10 different state flags. We make custom flags. What got me started in the flagpole business. We started just painting, restringing, and repairing flags, flagpoles. Then we started building flagpoles, and then we were buying flags from other companies. We figured out from step by step, and we started manufacturing, and it just evolved 40 years later. So our size flags range from 2 by 3 foot to 40 by 80 foot flags, which are very big. Everybody's got a different job out there. Some put the stars on, some sew the stripes together, some do the hemming, some do the cutting. Everybody works together. The flag can be cleaned and repaired. We do a lot of that. There's nothing wrong with taking the flag down, hemming the ends, and running it through a gentle cycle in the washing machine. The flag needs to be lit if you decide not to take it down at nighttime. You have to have a light on it. And really, if the flag is ripping, you need to change it out, repair it, or put a new flag up. The proper way to fold the flag, the military process, is the triangle. Well, it's the triangle hat. Basically what it represents is the hat that George Washington and those guys used to wear in the olden days. That's how they get that little triangle. That's where they came up with it. The government has specific days that they have to fly the flags. The government, whenever they order a half-staff, that's for government, that is not for civilians. The civilians can honor it, but that's not for them. There's no law requiring that. To learn any fun facts, history, or flag etiquette, you can find it all on our website at amflagaz.com.
And now we are proud to introduce you to a Texas native who served our country as an Army nurse during Vietnam. Alexia Serrata walks us through her memorable journey.
And I was working the night shift, which meant that I was working with 2 other corpsmen.
Born and raised in San Benito, Janice Speck wanted to be a nurse for as long as she can remember. She attended Baylor University when a unique offer was presented her sophomore year.
They told us about a program that both the Army and the Navy had that would pay for our last 2 years of nursing school in exchange for a 3-year obligation in the military.
Speck decided to commit to the Army. She joined her former husband, an Army dust-off pilot who she met while in nursing school in Vietnam.
We were able to be over there together, which was a big help to us both, well, mainly psychologically, because we could talk to each other.
Speck was put on a medical floor where she worked night shifts 60 hours a week, treating patients who had tropical diseases, standard medical conditions, and even snake bites. On occasion, she would get sent to the emergency room, where she recalls some of her darkest moments.
Someone who had had 3 or 4 extremities amputated and trying to tell his girlfriend that he would be okay. That part was very traumatic.
After a year in Vietnam, she requested to be transferred to Georgia to work in obstetrics, a field that always piqued her interest. Not only did she get the transfer approved, she also got an unexpected promotion.
Head of the OB department? I've never done OB. Well, it seems that I was the only military RN that would be in the OB department.
Speck served 5 years in the Army before moving back to the Valley. She was a labor and delivery nurse for over 40 years, working in 4 different Valley hospitals.
It was the biggest blessing of my life to be able to make a good income doing something that I loved and I felt like I was good at, and I helped my patients.
Today, she enjoys reading, spending time with her grandson, and is the only female member of the Vietnam Veterans of America and Veterans of Foreign Wars. She hopes to inspire young girls who have witnessed her contributions not only to the Army, but throughout her entire career as a nurse.
Everybody that was over there was a Vietnam vet. We couldn't have survived without cooks, without mail clerks, and without nurses. And so I then realized that I had something to be very proud of.
In Harlingen, I'm Alexia Serrata.
Women are one of the fastest growing groups among U.S. veterans. Since the combat exclusion ban was lifted in 2013, women have fought in key conflicts, proving their ability to lead and perform. Their service stands as both an achievement and an invitation for the next generation of women in uniform to serve.
The Texas Veterans Commission awarded $46 million in grants this year to organizations that provide important services to thousands of veterans. One family even received a new house. Capitol correspondent Dylan McKim shares the story of the Flores family.
I just want to be part of something bigger than myself. And 9/11 had happened a little bit after that. So I wanted to do my part also.
Albert Flores had a dream of becoming a Marine, a dream he realized in 2003, serving his country in Iraq and providing for his family. But in 2005, while out on patrol.
Just told everyone just look out for some IEDs, and as soon as I said that, literally an IED had just blown up right underneath us. Took everything from the windshield forward, was pretty much gone.
Flores's leg was mangled in the explosion. He had to be carried to a nearby home to wait for a medical evac, his mind turning to his family as he awaited rescue. His wife, Elvira, who he met in middle school, and their 6-year-old son were thousands of miles away.
Was my son going to remember me? Is this the last spot? You know, am I not ever going to get to see him again?
It sucks. Every time, we relive it all over again.
Flores was able to get back home to his family, but their lives were forever changed. Doctors had to amputate his leg above the knee. He learned to walk on a prosthetic, but he still relies on his wheelchair, and life inside his home proved to be another battle, as mundane tasks like taking a shower became dangerous.
My crutch would slip on me or something, I'd miss a wet spot and straight down and try to catch myself and dislocated fingers and stuff.
It would suck, because a lot of times I would be like,
should be at work.
I wouldn't work from home. I would be at work and things like that would happen. And
the Flores family, an example of what so many wounded veterans go through back home. That's where Homes for Our Troops comes in. The organization builds custom homes for veterans adapted for their needs.
In essence, what they did for us is sacrifice their freedom and independence because they need assistance on a lot of those just daily mundane things that we all take for granted.
This is the 400th home the organization has built in the past 20 years. This one's in New Braunfels, and it belongs to the Flores family.
Make some food.
An open floor plan wide enough for Albert's wheelchair, a roll-in shower, pull-down shelving in the kitchen, and accessible appliances. And a fully paved path around the home, restoring freedom back to Albert's life and lowering the stress for his family.
More than 93% of our veterans say that the stress level across the entire family has gone down.
I just feel we're more happier now. Like, he's more happier also. Like, he just has that independence back, I guess.
Now, Elvira can go to work without having to worry about her husband at home, and their house has become the go-to place for family gatherings and watching football on the weekend. For Albert, it restored something in him that he fought to protect 2 decades ago.
Last night, I can hold my head up high. I have my independence back.
In New Braunfels, I'm Dylan McKim.
Many veterans and first responders suffer from PTSD, and some are finding relief through horsemanship. Take a look at how a program called War Horses for Veterans is helping heal some of the pain.
Across southern Johnson County, horse farms dot the rolling landscape, from leisure riding to competitive. But at one farm, it's horsing around of a much different kind.
It was life-changing for me.
31 years on the Minneapolis police force had taken its toll on Kevin Lazarchik. The pressures of being a cop on the streets, the trauma.
Lots of anger, sleepless nights, relationship problems, both professionally and personally.
And the riots, sparked by the death of George Floyd.
That was very challenging, to say the least, and just trying to navigate my own personal mental health during all that time.
Made it worse?
Made it worse. It was very difficult, and ultimately it led me down a path of where I'm at now.
A 2023 path to War Horses for Veterans on one of those Johnson County farms.
And what was your first thought when they said, you need to go ride horses and get through this?
I was like, what? I wasn't really sure about that. I'm like, all right, I'm game.
Kevin had been through other therapies, nothing quite like this. Man meets beast in a round pen. But before he could tame that beast, Kevin had to tame himself.
That horse can feel your energy from 4 to 6 feet away. Like, the more I brought negative energy to the horse, the more that horse just got spun around, and he was not happy. And so I learned how, it finally connected with me to realize, okay, I need to take a step back and take a look inward.
They're mirrors.
Brett Courtright has stood before those mirrors, those horses. A Kansas City area cop for 12 years, he too battled PTSD. In 2019, he took part in the 6-day program. Starting in that round pen, taming the beast by taming himself, building confidence in the saddle by taking the reins of horsemanship and life day by day.
Our horses can spin, they can slide, they can rope, and we're going to give you this giant rocket ship. We're going to give you all the tools, give you everything you need to support you, but you got to light the match to go.
Tools that include nutrition.
What do you guys think?
And nurturing. Learning communication skills alongside those riding skills.
There's no judgment here.
Pat Brown and her husband Andy raised 2 daughters and a few horses on this Stillwell farm. In 2014, they launched War Horses for Veterans out of their home, a 3-day program then. Veterans came first, first responders later, eventually expanding to 6 days. The daughter of a World War II pilot just knew her horses could heal.
They are completely non-judgmental, which is why I think it works so well with these veterans and first responders. You know, they're used to being in situations and being judged on their actions.
Their girls grown, a business sold. The Browns set out to grow the program and property, donating the ranch and fundraising to add buildings, housing, and horses.
It meant the world to us to be able to see this continue after we're gone.
This place has helped me be a better father, a better husband, and just a better man overall.
So much so, Brett Courtwright stayed. Today, he's the executive director of War Horses for Veterans.
So how's the week going so far?
Pretty fantastic so far.
And Kevin, he came back. A few days after we met Kevin on his 3rd visit to the farm, we checked in to see how his healing and mentoring of a new class of first responders was going.
Who do you miss more when you leave, the guys or the horses?
Maybe the horses a little bit more. They'll talk back.
Taming that beast by taming himself and building a network of new friends he can lean on when he goes home for good.
I just know that when I want to leave, I'm going to be ready to leave, and I'm just going to close that chapter in my book, and I move on to the next chapter. I'm just going to do it, you know, with a smile on my face.
A California veteran turned his newfound passion, post-service, into a nonprofit meant to inspire other service members. Kasha Gregoracek from Fox 5 in San Diego shares the story.
No matter where you're at, once you take the tiller, you take the helm on a sailboat, and you feel that wind, and the sails fill, the boat heels over, and you start to power up. For me, everything else is out the window mentally.
Brian Forrestal is the founder of Veterans Sailing, a nonprofit dedicated to giving veterans and active duty military an outlet out on the water. Forrestal served in the Marine Corps from 2006 to 2010.
It was a struggling period for a few years to plant my feet.
Life after the military wasn't always smooth until Forrestal found sailing. Veteran Sailing was a chance to build authentic community with others who have walked similar paths.
Just you and nature kind of working together out there.
Navy veteran Don Rock is also a captain and sailing instructor working to help Forrestal's vision grow.
Every time you go sailing, you're experiencing something just a little bit different, whether it's the strength of the wind or currents or how big the seas are. And it's learning to work in harmony with that. To keep the boat propelled, keep moving forward, and that's part of life.
Army veteran Nate Nash was raised in San Diego, but initially never considered sailing.
But after the Army, sailing's probably been the most therapeutic thing for me. Being out on the water, once you leave the dock, just the noise of the world goes away. It's you, the water, and the wind.
Despite the different backgrounds or branches of the military, once they step on the boat, they're working toward the same goals.
I'm really out here just to help other veterans who I know might be going through a hard time with grief or with transitioning out of the military or just trying to find their place, because I know it's tough.
When Veteran Sailing first began, there were a couple dozen veterans involved, but in just one short year, the organization is now in touch with hundreds of veterans.
A huge part is the camaraderie out there, being a part of a team again.
As the nonprofit continues to attract fellow service members looking to step out of their comfort zone, the experiences are growing thanks to the support of the community, also catching wind of the work being done out here off Harbor Island.
We've recently had support from Veterans Thrift Store. Without them, we wouldn't be able to have expanded from once a month sailing events to weekly.
Through sailing adventures and even sponsoring veterans to get sailing certifications, there's more on the horizon for this nonprofit that's just getting started.
We want to bring sailing to as many veterans and service members as possible, We want to do that while also building out their capabilities and empowering them to give back as well.
On the San Diego Bay, I'm Kasia Grigorczyk.
A little over 3,500 people in U.S. history have received the Medal of Honor, nearly half awarded posthumously. It's the highest military decoration, recognizing those who have distinguished themselves by acts of valor at the risk of their own lives, above and beyond the call of duty.
Thank you for joining us in our celebration of all U.S. military service members.
For more information about anything you've seen here, visit our website, cw7az.com.
Thank you to all of the veterans out there for your service.
We salute you.